Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com. And guess what's back? Yeah, Szell's Beethoven cycle. Isn't that fabulous? And really, it is fabulous because it's one of the handful of truly great Beethoven cycles out there. I mean, it's amazing, and it's been issued and reissued and reissued about a bazillion times, which tells you just how good it is, because you can keep selling it forever, essentially. Now, this claims to be the remastered stereo recordings. What does that mean? Well, I was looking around to see exactly when this was remastered, because I'm not exactly sure, and it doesn't say. Of course not. I mean, why would they give us that information? If you look at the back of the booklet here, I'm looking at the back of the booklet where they have the credits, it just tells you that this was reissued in 2024. Well, yes, it's 2024. So this compilation, 2024. And that's about all that you learn from it. I mean, there's nothing else, no other information about it. So my assumption is that these remastered stereo recordings are the same remastered stereo recordings that you get in the big Szell box. With, everything. And they've simply plucked out the Beethoven stuff and stuffed it here, which is great. I mean, it's great because not everybody's going to want the big box, and the big box isn't going to survive forever, although it's been around for a remarkably long time because it's been remarkably successful, the big, huge Szell box. So instead, if you don't want the big box or you don't have his Beethoven cycle at this point, this is your chance. I just have for a little bit of show and tell here, aside from the big box, sort of the history of this cycle on CD, just so you know sort of what's happened. And it's kind of interesting to follow it. We have this. First, there was the Essential Classics Beethoven releases, which were budget priced. I mean, this was the budget price label, and it was sort of symptomatic of the way Szell and Cleveland were treated while they were around, although when released on Epic, that was a full price label. It was a sub-label of Sony, but he couldn't be on Columbia because Columbia had too many orchestras already. They had Bruno Walter, they had Eugene Ormandy, and just have, just another guy doing the same German repertoire. They had to stick him on a different label, which stuck in Szell's craw, annoyed him tremendously. And that's why ultimately he jumped ship and went to EMI at the end of his career, at the very end of his career. So anyway, you had these. And it's amazing how, Sony's best Beethoven cycle was also the cheapest. This is the box. These were all released individually. So they just stuffed them in a little sleeve, and there you had it. So this goes back here somewhere. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, I can just stuff it in its little home. It's been there forever, and I never got rid of it. So, it's actually good because now I have these things for comparison. Do these sound better than those? Yes, they definitely do. Do they sound better than the ones in the big box? No. Not really, not noticeably. I mean, not that I can tell. So I think that they're the same. Anyway, that's okay. Then, let's see, what else have we got? We had this sort of intermediate thing. This was interesting. I don't even know where this came from. Look at that. It's kind of an almost original jacket. It's a French Sony recording because Leon, you get the piano concertos with Leon Fleischer, whose name is Léon Fleischer. And we have the fact that these were enregistrés entre 1957 and 1967. So that's, it's French Sony, all with the same sort of horrible, cover thing. And I got this. Don't ask me how or when or why, but I've always hung on to it. So that's that. Then, let's see what else happened. There was an original jacket one. I don't have that one up here. I think it's down in the overflow room somewhere. Well, these were in the overflow room too, but I could at least find them more easily. There was an original jacket one that included the Lewis Lane Beethoven stuff. The Prometheus and stuff like that, and a couple overtures and things like that. And that also came out. And then last but not least, there was this super budgie version of Just the Symphonies with the Fidelio Overture at Egmont and King Stephen. So you get these. And I'm, these were basically the same as the Essential Classics ones, I think. So, like I said, there's plenty of Szell Beethoven. So what are we getting here? Just to be clear, what the actual overtures and things that you get. You have, let's see, you get the 9 symphonies, of course. And then we have, let's see, what overtures do we get? The overtures are, you don't get any overtures for a while. Up, Leonora number 3. Yes, that's wonderful. And juicy and delightful. And we should have Egmont in here somewhere. And we've got, oh, they're all at the end, you see. Egmont, Coriolan, King Stefan, Leonora 1 and 2, and Fidelio. So there you go. That's what's in here. And they are as good as they get. Really as good as it gets. I mean, Szell was so smart the way he did Beethoven. You know, he'd spent 7 years doing these symphonies from 1957 to 1964, and he only made one Beethoven cycle. That's not to say that after he went to EMI, had he lived, because he was only 70 or so when he died, he might not have done another one. It's entirely possible. But there aren't tons of repeats of Beethoven's symphonies either. I mean, the 5th was his sort of signature one. He did one with the Concertgebouw for Philips, and then there's the live one on Orfeo, which I think I have sitting right over here somewhere. Is that it? Is this it? Let's see. There it is. Keep it handy. This is no longer available. It was a Salzburg Festival recording, and I've recommended it endlessly, and you've all been terribly frustrated trying to find it. So I should probably just put it away and never, I'll put it away later, and never take it out again, because it will just annoy everybody. This 5th is really fabulous too. I mean, it's just about as good. These performances are sui generis. There is nothing else like them. The Eroica is the reference recording, I mean, easily the reference recording. 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, they're all great. They're all great. The Pastoral is glorious. The 7th has the most marvelous allegretto anybody ever came up with. And it all culminates in a really taut, exciting, and powerful recording of
the 9th.
Yeah. I mean, that really merits its place as the capstone of the symphonic cycle. All of the overtures are just as good. The sonics, the remastered sonics, are just fine. It doesn't get any better. It just doesn't. So if you don't have this Beethoven cycle, you're really losing out. You have to have this Beethoven cycle. It's total greatness. And it's been, like I said, issued and reissued because of that. And it hasn't lost a bit of its luster since it was recorded. Oh, my God, 1957 was the Eroica. So how many years ago was that? 50, 67, almost 70 years ago, which is kind of unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, really amazing that these recordings have held, their place in the discography, in the Beethoven discography, ever since they were made. And it says something. It says something for Szell and Cleveland, and thank God they got recorded, and we can enjoy them, hopefully, forever. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.